Join me as I try to find and replicate the most selfless act of kindness done by a teenager that will leave us all speechless. There's a story I want to share with you today that's going to touch your heart and remind you of the kindness that exists in this world. It's the story of a teenager who did something so extraordinary, so selfless, that it will leave you speechless. Today, we're going to dive into this incredible story and relive the moments that made it so special. In a small town, there was a family who was struggling to make ends meet. The father had lost his job, the mother was working multiple jobs just to put food on the table, and the kids were feeling the effects of poverty. They were going to school in hand-me-down clothes, and their grades were suffering because they were worried about what was going on at home. This was a community that needed a helping hand, a community that needed someone to step up and make a difference. And that's exactly what our teenager did. This was a community that was crying out for compassion, for someone to care, and for someone to make a change. This teenager, let's call her Sarah, was a junior in high school. She was an average student, not particularly popular, but she had a heart of gold. She saw the struggles of this family and knew she had to do something. She began by organizing a clothing drive, collecting gently used clothes from her friends and family to give to the kids in need. As Sarah started taking action, she realized that this family needed so much more than just clothes. They needed food, they needed supplies, and they needed a sense of community. So, Sarah took it upon herself to organize a full-scale food drive, contacting local businesses and churches to see if they could donate. Sarah's efforts didn't go unnoticed. Her friends started to notice the change in her, the fire in her eyes, and the passion in her heart. They began to get on board, too, and soon, the entire school was involved in the effort. They were collecting canned goods, toiletries, and even toys for the kids. As the days went by, Sarah's project grew. Local news stations started to cover the story, and soon, people from all over the city were donating. The outpouring of support was overwhelming, and the family was finally starting to feel the love and care of their community. The day of the giveaway arrived, and Sarah, her friends, and the community gathered at the family's home. The family was overwhelmed with emotion as they saw the amount of food, clothes, and supplies that had been collected. The kids were beaming with joy, and the parents were crying tears of gratitude. This act of kindness changed the trajectory of this family's life. It reminded them that they weren't alone, that there were people who cared, and that they mattered. It was a reminder to all of us that we have the power to make a difference, no matter how small we may feel. The ripple effect of Sarah's kindness was felt far beyond this family. It inspired others to take action, to care for their neighbors, and to make a difference in their own communities. If you've ever been the recipient of an act of kindness, or if you've been inspired to pay it forward, let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see more inspiring stories like this one, be sure to check out another video on my channel.